name's Ollie. I'm a Gran Turismo driver, but also a graphic designer. So hopefully I'm going to show you how to make a logo into an SVG vector file so you can use it on your liveries. I've never done a YouTube video before, so hopefully this works. As you see, someone already asked for a strongbow one. So we're going to start with one of those and do ones for that guy. I can't remember his name. Sorry, dude. We'll find you out in a minute. Different types. You've got like kind of the faded kind of graphic type here. That's not going to upload properly because of SVG files like this. You're not going to get that gradient at all. It has to be a solid color. But you might be able to do that with the 3 different colors, with the dark gold, the brighter gold, and then the white kind of top, or this kind of color. That's absolutely fine. But we'll just go with a black and white one, and then you can actually color it in Gran Turismo itself much easier. Okay, so different types. You've got this checky background. That's a PNG file. That means the background is clear, whereas you might have one where it's got white like this. It makes no difference because the way we're going to use Illustrator will get rid of that background, so it is a clear file rather than a white box. I'm pretty sure if you click on one like this, you'll get one like this. Hang on, let's just get rid of this guy. I was just playing around a second ago. Get rid of him. Right, if you take this PNG file and you think it's PNG and you drop it on your Illustrator, oh, I've done something crazy. It will actually come up with a checky background, so that's no use anyway. Take one like this that's already got a pure white background, and when we do our live trace, it will take all of that out anyway. So I took this file. Where did I take it from? You might be able to drag it from here and just drop it onto here. But now I've got 2 of them. And it's in here. The difference between a bitmap and an SVG vector file is when you zoom into a bitmap, you're going to get grainy kind of outlines like this. And obviously when Gran Turismo tries to stick it onto a car, you're going to get all that horrible back outline, and it's not going to trace properly around the like the shape of the car as it kind of contours. That's the word I was looking for. So that's not going to work. So obviously it needs a vector file, and then that can be expanded and shrunk as much as you want, which is what makes them much better. At this size, obviously it looks absolutely fine, but when you zoom in, it looks horrible. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something called a live trace. Over here you've got your live trace window. If not, you go up to window and you find it here. It hasn't got a shortcut for some obscure reason, but it's going to bring up your live trace window, and then when you click on this, it's going to bring up these options. Right, we want a black and white logo, so it's going to come up like that. Immediately you can see it just looks a million times better. We've got preview on. When you zoom in now, it's going to go as clear as muck. It's going to be absolutely pristine and looking good. Like that. Now this is the problem where Gran Turismo has this 15 kilobyte limit on its uploads, so it's going to be difficult to get this right on the first attempt. But you're going to look at these buttons, these 3 here. The threshold shows the difference between the black and the white. Obviously if you go too low, it's just going to get rid of everything. Get too high, it's going to just go black. So we're looking for the limit between. You can look at your little registration logo over here, but we're going to get rid of that anyway because we don't want it. So we're going to find a nice limit where we like it and it looks right. You can look at the middle of the A for Apple, at the bottom as well. Where is that going to start coming up as I go too low, like this? So we're going to go somewhere in the middle. Nice smooth outlines around the circle over in the middle. Your paths, this is how advanced they're going to be. If they're low, obviously you're going to get square lines. If they're too high, you're going to have too much detail and the file's going to be huge. So again, you're trying to get as low as you possibly can without going too far. The corners is basically how smooth you're going to get it. Again, you're trying to go as low. I'm looking at the middle of the R now for the R in strongbow. Now it's a nice kind of straight line, whereas previously it went all funny. So we'll come back this way a little bit, down like this. The words hide apple cider. Noise is how detailed it is. There are some dots up here around, I think that's like fizz or something, and then this R registration logo. It's going to try and pick up those, or if I go too high, it's not going to pick them up at all, but then you lose bits inside letters like this. So we're going to go as low as we can without losing anything, whereas there we're getting from some funny noise that we don't really want, so we're going to come up this low a little bit. And then we're going to have to go with something like that, I think. Oh, a bit two more paths, maybe I'm gonna go, no. Go about there, and then the main button is you need to click ignore white. And when that ignore white, you're gonna get a clear background here rather than a white square. So you want that, and it just shifts ever so slightly, but that doesn't make any difference whatsoever. And now this is actually see-through rather than having a square white background, which is much better. Okay, once that's done, that's not actually finished. You need to come up here and click the word expand. And what that's going to do is going to make each piece into its own separate entity. So now we've got a path through the things here, through each point. Best way to think of paths is when you say, if I go into this one here, you've got these anchor points here, these anchor points. The best way to think about those is that's the apex of the corner, and this is your entry speed and exit speed. So how fast you come in through that corner when you hit your apex, how much further is. If I drag this out, my exit speed is going to go further before my entry speed for the next one. So I'm going to put that back, obviously. So that's affecting how it goes through that corner and through that apex point, or the anchor point. We're going to put that back, so exactly where it was. So you can edit them, you can in theory take them out. So this point is not actually needed because you don't need that apex there, because you've got one here, and you definitely don't want to need one there just before this point. And you've got some others over here as well that you don't actually need. So you could go through and edit them all and take them all out. That's going to make your file size smaller. And you could edit it so your strongbow and your T here looks just a little bit better. You can get rid of stuff, so if you don't want this H, you can just get rid of it, and you can get rid of the words hard apple ciders if you wanted to. But the one thing we do want to get rid of, if there was still there, but I've managed to get rid of it already, it was the registration mark, because sometimes computers will pick up on that, or the TM, a trademark, and will not allow you to upload it. So zoom back out again, we're now looking all good. With this, as I said, you can resize it. It is bang on, so you can resize it however you want. You know, if you wanted to, you can make it longer and thinner. You could get rid of stuff. You could just take the apple if you wanted to, or whatever you wanted to do, and you've got it like that. We're going to fill the screen, and then the main thing is when we save it. So we're going to save it as, and we need to make sure we're going to save it as an SVG file, not a compressed one, just a standard one, and call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it Strongbow. Strongbow 1 actually, because I've already made one, and then push save. Yeah, replace it, doesn't matter. Right, the two options that Gran Turismo accepts are 1 and 1.1. Don't worry about these ones. Let's keep it on 1. And then you've got this embed, link and preserve. You need to embed it. You can't link it because obviously it's trying to copy stuff from your hard drive, which you don't have. Don't worry about anything else. It should be all good. Press save, press OK, and then the main thing you need to do now is check how big it is. So mine has come out as 12 kilobytes, that's absolutely fine. You can see the previous one I did has 29 kilobytes because I've got some noise around the Apple fuzz up here. That's my daughter making noise, by the way. You got some fuzz up here where we try to make it a little bit cleaner, but then we made it too big. So this one's a little bit better for us and obviously fits on now on Gran Turismo. So we're going to come into here and we're going to open our Gran Turismo uploader. Let's go to the... So we're going to go to the Decal uploader. Here we go. A few I've done before. Jimmy's Iced Coffee one. You guys might see me driving around in my X-Wing Star Wars one over here. Right, so we put it on the desktop, didn't we? So we're going to call it Strongbow 1 here. Upload it. It's just called Strongbow. You can change the title to take that out. That makes the guy who's trying to find it a little bit quicker. If he just searches for the link Strongbow, he'll find it. Cool. Click upload. Yeah, I've read all the information. Doesn't matter. And it's uploaded complete, and it should appear down here. Now, anyone who wants it will be able to find it. Just go and look for it, I guess. Right, cheers. Hope that worked. Ah!
Sorry about the noise.
Well, I might have to do it all again, honey.
Sorry.
Well,